Good morning.
It's 10 a.m. in Rains County, Texas, not Hawaii. This is a regularly called meeting that was posted on July the 24th of 2026 at 2:57 p.m. It was posted on our courthouse doorsteps, as well as on our clerk's website and the district clerk's website, and no telling who else reposted it. But those three places in particular are sufficient enough for this meeting to comply with all the laws of the state, and based on that fact, and also pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, this meeting will be called to order because there is a quorum of all of our commissioners and Ms. Judge here this morning. It's a pleasure having you here today. This meeting is called to order. First thing on our agenda is to do the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation. And please stand with me.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for Rains County and the nice hot weather that we have had here. It just really is a dream to be here in Rains County, enjoying this heat. We pray, Lord, for our ranchers and farmers. I know some of my adjoining neighbors have had some cattle loss due to the heat, and certainly we wouldn't want that to happen to anyone else in the county. And I just pray, Lord, that you would send us some rain, send us a bit of relief here from the heat, be with our residents, be with the people here in this room, my fellow commissioners that will be voting on and making decisions on behalf of our county, our budget, and other matters, not only today, but also in the coming months. We give you the praise and glory for all you've done for us in Christ's name. Amen. You don't walk outside with a sick coat on, you're going to get hot. All right, so first, as always, the first thing on our agenda is the public forum for public testimony. I only have one person that's filled out this form to speak. Is there any other party that wants to speak on an agenda item?
She's speaking on the agenda, not in the public, but on the specific.
Can you fill one of these out?
Yes, sir. I was told not to.
Well, let's fill it out just to make sure.
Yeah. Specific.
Just let it out of an abundance. I think that's filled out for 992. So while we're waiting, citizens are allowed 5 minutes to speak. We ask you to conduct yourself in a civilized manner. We cannot take action on anything that you speak to about in the public testimony area. If you have some concern that you have for an item that's on the agenda, you can also speak on the agenda item as well if you fill out the form. And our staff will then, based on what your comments are, either place something on a future agenda item or not, as the case may be, depending on the severity of the issue and what we believe that is necessary for that. So with that, Mrs. Brackratz, please step forward.
Thank you. Angela Brackratz, Rains County. So last time I updated you on state convention and then shared with you my testimony on gain of function accountability. And since then, I got to speak with Dr. Peter McCullough at DBD Disability Screening in Dallas a couple weeks ago. And I was talking with him about my testimony. I said, I don't feel like I connected the gain of function research in COVID with mRNA. I said, if you precisely connect that for me. And he said that gain of function research for COVID used the spike protein to make the virus more contagious and deadly. He said the shot, the mRNA shot, causes your body shell to produce the spike protein, so it is gain of function. So, in light of the fact that RFK Jr. said that gain of function has no place in civilized society, and that it causes viruses to become more contagious and deadly, and he vowed to end it. And we've got 4 mRNA vaccines in FDA approval right now, going through, one being the flu shot coming out in this fall. We need to locally let people know, love our neighbors, let them know, and protect more people from being killed by this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else didn't get to fill out the Form 1-2? So why not, you can bring that up for us. You can do it, you can stick on the agenda item. Just bring it up. Thank you. We'll call you in a few minutes as well. We'll call you in just a few minutes as well on the agenda item.
Okay. It's number 4.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
well, can you just, whenever, I'll call you up whenever we talk about it. I'm sorry.
You can sit with us.
That's confusing.
I'm sorry.
All right, so some of the people up here may forget what you said if we wait that long. I'm kidding. I joke around too much. All right, so the next item for our first item of business is the consent calendar. Is there a motion to consider the consent calendar and approve it?
Move to approve.
I have a motion to approve by Commissioner Northcutt.
Second.
I have 2 seconds. Mr. Jones, I guess we'll call Mr. Jones on that one. Any discussion?
Hold on.
No
I
discussion?
need to talk about number 6 for just a second before we move on.
Okay.
Number 6 is in the city of Point, so we are not approving that unless somebody knows something I don't. Meadowview is in the city of Point. That's Meadowview Lane. It is not part of the county.
This is for item number 6 for the Texas and Mexico Power Company. So
The
that's
mayor called me last night and was wondering why it's on our agenda, and I said, it's a really good question.
that is a good question.
I thought 1402 does connect to that, but it's not part of the county, so we shouldn't be accepting that. We should move that, send that over to them to accept.
Okay, so is there a motion to redact that from our agenda?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes.
so we have amended the motion by Commissioner Northcutt to remove item number 6 from the agenda, or to table it, I guess would be the better thing to say. Is there a second for that?
Second.
Second, okay. So we'll vote on the on that first. All those in favor of that say aye. Aye. All those that disapprove say nay. And then the last thing is for the remaining agenda items that are on the consent agenda calendar from 1 through 5. All those in favor say aye. Aye. That passes.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't know how we missed that. Okay, the next item is to discuss and take action and approve a replat of lots 38, 39, and 40 in for Hermit's Coves, which is located on Highway 276 and 1425. Ron Hanks, R&B Properties LLC is the applicant. And Jason Jarrett, is he here today?
He is not.
He said he was
He was on his way. Would it be okay if we skipped over that one and
We can.
went on to number? Can we get a number 3, please? Because he has the first 2
Or
do
Jason?
involve him.
Okay.
I'd like for him to speak on behalf of both of them.
Discuss and take action, item number 3, discuss and take action to approve the temporary permit issued by TCEQ for Steamboat Shores.
I'll move to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a second? Any discussion on that? All those in
Can I ask
Sure.
what the temporary permit's about? Is
Yep.
there?
So if you look in your supporting material, you'll see that there's an application that was filed with the TCEQ for a temporary permit.
Looked like TCEQ approved it, so they just needed us to sign off on it, I
Just
guess.
to sign off on it, just a perfunctory thing. So if you look at our resolution, it says that the temporary permit is hereby approved. The judge is authorized to sign the resolution, takes effect immediately upon the adoption of it. But I mean, TCEQ's already approved it, so it's just
Oh,
administrative.
they've already approved it.
Yeah, it's a wastewater thing, I think.
Thank you.
Any more questions on that? All those in favor of that say aye. That motion passes unanimously. I vote on it as well. Okay, discuss and take action to approve honoring the Gold Star families and Blue Star families by displaying gold stars and blue stars as symbols for 30 days on the first floor of the Rains County Courthouse, specifically located on the windows of the building. Is there a motion to approve that?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve by Corey,
Second.
second by Commissioner Northcutt. So, Mrs. Carlisle, why don't you come up and tell us all about it?
I can do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I'm not really good at speaking in public, but I'll do my best. In World War I, when a military soldier would go, they would be represented by a blue star here. And it was put in their windows to let, I've got here, blue star in the military represented an immediate family member actually serving in the United States Armed Forces during a period of war or conflict. Then a gold star in the military represented the ultimate sacrifice made by a service member to die while serving on active duty. It identifies a gold star family and it honors the following. We've had 17 deaths since this conflict. And we would like to honor those 17 by these stars. And here's the gold star. And when they went off to war, they put this in the window. If there was a death, then they come and they overlap with the blue star. We want to put 17, because that's how many 17 victims there are right now in this conflict. There may be more by the time Veterans Day comes, but we'll stay on track of that. But anyway, I appreciate y'all hearing from us. I think it's a worthy cause, and I'm honored to be a part of it. There's a lot of people working on this parade, and there's so many people that are working on this, and I think it's going to be the best parade we've ever had.
It's awesome.
I'm proud of it. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
One quick question.
Yes,
It looked like we're starting today.
sir. No, sir, we won't start putting these in the window until after Halloween.
Gotcha.
So, because they've got other events that are going on, and we don't want to interfere with that.
Yeah, I saw 30 days on there, and I didn't know if it was going to start today and then be over before.
I would
Veterans
say
Day.
October I'd say November the first.
It's that they would have to be removed from the initial display within 30 days.
Okay.
Unless we decide we like it so much we want to extend it.
Gotcha.
But I wanted to put some time limit on it.
Gotcha.
Miss Carlisle, when is the parade up here?
Who's talking?
Me.
Okay.
When's the parade exactly? What was the
That's
date?
November the seventh.
November 7th.
Yes, ma'am. And what we've done, with KMOO, we've got all the listings of all the boards, and the number one song during that era will be played as they come through the parade.
Wow.
Cool.
So
Nice.
anyway, and there's a lot of other things that are surprising that'll be, you'll be proud of.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
The other thing I'd point out is the stars will only be placed on the windows. No paint will be affected like we've seen in the past. So
Good job.
I don't think,
17 windows.
and we'll be able to get the glue from it. off the window. So I think this is a safe thing for the courthouse.
Now, I would tell you that the merchants around here are all putting out stars too.
Oh.
Cool.
Sounds good. That's right. That's right.
Any further discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously
Thank you very much.
with no one abstaining. My wife gets on to me for saying it passes unanimously, and then they're never stating that there was no abstention. So unanimously could mean, I guess, some things are different. All right, so discuss and take action on creating a groundwater conservation district. I place this on the agenda, and I'll make it in the form of a motion.
A second. It.
Have a second to discuss and take action. All those in favor of that, what's the discussion? All those in favor of that say aye.
Aye.
Let's talk about it. So the reason why I put this on the agenda is, as a judge and understanding the limited resources of our county, I do have a concern for water supply in our county, especially as it relates to the eastern part of our county. So from Highway 19 east, that seems to be where most of the underground water is located. So I think looking at the competition for water in the entire state, and certainly within the aquifer of the Teresa Wilcox aquifer as a whole, all the way down to the coast, it's something that our county needs to look at. I'm not sure what the right answer to it is, but I wanted to kind of get the pulse of the court today on where we believe we should be heading with it. Our county's been offered a chance to participate in a 15 or 17 county member district that's being championed by Cole Hefner, and that I believe has some potential inherent risk with it, but I also believe just running it on our own also have some inherent risk as well. So, what do you all think?
I think it's going to cost money no matter which way we go. At our conference, Jeremy, myself, and Jim, we all were there, and they talked a lot about these districts, and we're kind of at the top of the barrel here. And first of all, the first thing they said that anyone would need to do is to get a hydrologist study. And I don't know that we've done that. I don't know how much it costs, but I would imagine it's pretty expensive. I have no clue. Do you?
I think if you recall back when Cole Hefner was here, that was part of the initial cost. It was attorney's fees, hydrology studies, things like that.
Okay.
Which I believe was just short of $1,300 or
$1,500 a month
$1,500 a month.
if everyone goes.
Yeah.
If we join the
And that was just to get started. I think the bigger concern is that he threw a pretty sizable number out there as far as operating this thing. I believe the number was somewhere between $2 or $3 million a year after that. I believe his hopes was that COGS, like Ed Cog, would jump in and help find a way to fund it. Problem I have with it currently is I don't know that we have enough information to possibly obligate the county for a huge cost that looking at it with the bird's eye view right now, I don't think we can afford it. And so my opinion of it is I'm not sure that the county's ready to dive in at a $1,500 a month bill just to get us going in the right direction, to possibly find out in a year now we're on a $2 to $3 million bill that we're going to have to find a way to split and afford.
I agree with you.
While we were down at the conference, I had the privilege speaking with Jim Allison, our council that we have, and he's working on a proposal. I know his opinion was going with a smaller group. He said because the ones up in the very northeast part of Texas, they don't have the same problem we do. So I think he had kind of discussed, he's going to give us some options. And he had looked at, creating our individual groundwater districts and then having an interlocal agreement with like 3 counties like us, Van Zandt, Wood, and stay pretty local with more local control. But he said he was working on giving us a couple of scenarios which way we could go and give us his recommendation on it. But it sounded like a better control, better local control, and still giving us a little bit more clout with a couple of counties joining with us. It sounded like a good solution. I don't know when he's gonna get us there. He said he's trying to get it before the legislation session's up, I believe. So,
Good.
but he's working on that, so that'll give us a good cost analysis. I think he's doing all of that. He'll tell us what it would cost to go to this group, or go alone. But I don't know, that's coming.
I reached out to Rachel,
Trigger my
trying to save electricity. I reached out to Rachel Webb with South Rains, asking her if she was going to be here today so we would have a water professional in the house. They actually have a Texas Rural Water Association meeting today at 11 in Mineola. And their district basically is the same district that we're talking about, 15 or 16 counties. So that board is meeting today to discuss this exact same thing. So her input, she thinks it's very important to be a part of it, but I said, all right, as one of your commissioners, what would you have us do? And she's like, holding tight is not a bad idea. Just wait until what they come up with, and Jim Allison and everybody else. I asked if there's no deadline, is there? Set in stone deadline to join?
The deadline is driven by the desire to divide up the $20,000 a month in legal fees to all the counties that want to participate.
Or did they give us a suggested join date?
Now.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. So that's,
We'll have our suggestion from Jim.
and I'm not suggesting, by the way, that we participate necessarily by them.
Yeah.
But the call that I received was based on the desire to, allocate it out among the counties that want to participate, as opposed to trying to reallocate later on.
No,
Because it's going to raise the cost of other counties that voters don't participate.
I know in talking to Jim, he was recommending against the big group.
And at our conference, there was 74 counties that they're trying to adhere together, and 33 counties with no groundwater conservation district. 45% of the area has no groundwater district. So we're not alone. I think there's other counties that are looking at this also. So it's not like we're being left out. I think we're doing right by really looking at
We
it.
need to get ahead of it. Don't want to be behind.
That's right. So I'm on board with us looking a little further into it and getting legal counsel before we make any decisions.
Yeah, I think for me, the other thing to consider is a lot like getting married. I can't see what that says, but 21.
Read this first.
Oh.
United Nations Agenda 21.
Okay. I kind of think of it as like getting married. When we get married, we're married for life, right? So we marry our spouses, and at least I did. And I married my wife in 1981, and we're still together and having a good time. So, and this thought has never crossed my mind. But when you think about unwinding something like a marriage, well, we all understand what that is, because there's laws that govern how you would unwind it. In this particular case, where we have these 15 counties, and given the fact that we have no idea what the legislation is going to say, we will be one of 15 parties that have some type of influence over it. And based on my gut feel from the conversation that I had with one individual a week ago, I get a feeling that I'm not going to have much to say. That's based on the pictorial aspect part of the conversation. So suffice it to say, there could be 14 counties that decide to do something that maybe Rains County doesn't want to go do. The legislation gets passed, and then we're stuck with something that we really had a 1 in 15 vote on, as opposed to one vote among us for our own county. So I settled that to say unwinding something that's gone through the legislature, I think would be extremely difficult,
Expensive.
and expensive, and probably unlikely. from what I understand. So, unlike marriage, that's predictable. You're going to pay a lawyer a lot of money and so forth, but there's are ways to go and do it. Here you can't. So, I always look on the back end of these deals and try to decide, okay, well, how do you unwind if you get into a bad situation, and it always happens. Bad times make bad partners. It always happens. I'm not referring to marriage now. I'm referring to just business parties getting into business deals. At some point in time down the road, people change, people die, things happen. And the people that I've, for example, the people that I've contracted with in my own business, when I pass away, they'll have to create new relationships with my son Sterling. And if he doesn't like that relationship, then I've tried to think of ways to unwind it so he's not stuck with it. And I think in this situation, the 15 county thing is hard to understand how to unwind it. That's one. And two, there are a lot of straws from just speaking of it, from looking at it from a hydrology standpoint. There are a lot of straws in the aquifer that are already pulling out large volumes of water from, like the city of San Antonio has, I think, several pipes going to it, like the big, huge pipes that are pulling water, and other cities along the corridor there. And there's more cities attempting to hook up to the Trace Aquifer already at this time. And you also have the Bass family, or the Bass group out of Florida that are coming in to the county and really being kind of draconian as well. So it's hard. So I don't really understand how 15 counties really had that, and it seems like a lot. But given the length of it and the scope of it and the width of it, of the aquifer, the Teresa Wilcox aquifer, it's hard for me to understand, from a drainage standpoint and from a rural capture perspective, how all of that works and how it relates to Reigns County. And in order to understand that, one would have to understand who's pulling what out of it. And when I asked the party that I was on the phone with about it, that's championing, not called the attorney, that's representing this group, he really couldn't tell me. Like I asked, give me the wells that have been drilled in it, what they're producing, and who's pulling water out of it. I couldn't get the answer, so that makes me nervous to just jump into something without knowing what I'm getting into. That's like cover your eyes up and hope you get to the right point that you want to be at. So I do think, personally, for us, there's two decisions. One is we have a limited amount of funds in Reigns County, and we have a lot of things that we need to focus on. And so this coming year, I budgeted $150,000 in legal fees for the Allison law firm because his rates are a little higher than what we've had in the past. And so we have to be somewhat judicious about how we allocate funds for just for legal fees. I have not so far budgeted any type of money for any type of consulting fees for hydrologists and so forth. I know they're expensive, and I couldn't even fathom or even begin to understand or predict what the cost would be to really do a hydrology report on the whole aquifer, or even if that's necessary. So I think the first thing is, what do we want to do? How much money do we want to spend to figure out what we want to go do, or do we not want to do anything? And then secondly, if we do want to do something, we need to recognize that that there will be more costs with it, and it'll be hundreds of thousands. It's not going to be small numbers. As another point of clarification, the $1,500 a month is for the period of time that it takes to get it to legislation. After it goes to legislation, then once that 15-member district gets propped up, it will have an estimated operating cost of between $2 to $3 million, maybe a little bit more dollars of money. And that cost, as it stands right now, is being proposed to be divided up among all the counties equally. So what's 15 to $3 million?
Too much for us.
I'm not sure.
It's a pretty good amount, right? Mm-hmm. So that gives us. So when Dr. Young was talking about, about COGS funding it, but the COGS may fund it, but it's also my understanding is if you elect to get into it, to participate, and then you later decide to get out of it, then your county's still stuck. Your county is still in it. You just lose your vote, your one vote, and I'm not going to do that either. So I don't want to obviate your vote, our taxpayers' vote, to any other county that doesn't serve our residents and doesn't have the best interest of our residents at heart. So that's where I stand on it.
I like it.
And I think rushed decisions with maybe a little less information often lead to regrets. So I think there's nothing wrong if we sit back, kind of make sure we get all of our information and make sure that we decide the best thing to do before we obligate the county to at 2.5 million, split the difference. 15 counties is approximately $167,000 a year. So I would like to, if Jeremy agrees, since he's talking to Rachel, let's hold off. Let's let her bring back some information, see if we get something from Mr. Allison's law firm, and then reevaluate.
He's going to give us several scenarios, and he's going to recommend which way we go based on our needs and the legislative costs and everything else. That's what he said. I agree with waiting on his study and stuff.
And so we want to table this until we get more information.
Sounds like it. The only other question I would ask is, we're still going to be spending money.
Yeah.
You know, so I called Mr. Allison, it costs money. And what, is there a cap or where do we, you know, how much money do we want to spend to come to some answer? And then what are you comfortable with me doing? Just so I'm not blindly spending money.
My opinion would be, if he's already said he would get us some information, I mean, when he gets us that information and gives it to us, it's going to be at whatever his cost is. And I think if you get that information, then we come back and then make that decision later. I think we have to know which route we're going to go before we decide how much money we obligate to it.
Yeah. It's like, you know, the way that this works, just for anyone here listening or watching in this room, we run this as these decisions are joint decisions that are made in public, right? So I try to be really careful about how much money I spend without any authorities. And then also what party we should be chasing and how much time we should dedicate to it and so forth. So it sounds like this is one we want to dedicate a little bit of money to, and if you trust my judgment on it, then I'll make that judgment and try to report back what the costs are.
You got to have more information before we make a judgment call on the cost.
Okay.
I think Jim's supposed to give us a really good estimate.
All right. So is there a motion to table this for the time being?
Make that motion.
I have a motion to table item number 5.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That passes with 100% voting.
Can we go back to number 1, please?
Sure can.
Mr. Jarrett's here.
Welcome. And we thank you for coming today, Mr. Jarrett. This item is to discuss and take action to approve a replat of lots 38, 39, and 40 for Hermit's Cove out there on Highway 276 and 1425. R&D Properties is the sponsor, which is, I guess, Ron Hanks. So all those in favor of discussing and approving this, or considering it, say aye. Is there a motion to that?
Motion to consider and approve.
All right, motion to consider and approve from Dr. Young. Second by Commissioner Northcutt. Let's hear what you got to say.
Good morning. I apologize for running behind this morning. This is the replat. You know, Hermit's Cove has been Laura and I have discussed it several times. The lots are super small. Septic systems are basically non-existent for the most part. Roads aren't built, but this is one that would benefit the county somewhat because Mr. Hanks is combining 4 of the lots that were in essence too small to actually build and meet the septic requirements with apartment acres to make I think it's 1.11 acres. His plan is to put a container home on it with an aerobic septic system. Lori, just to be sure this is on the record, Lori, Joe Parker, and I have met with him once and talked to him several times on the phone. His initial plan was to put 2 to 3 container homes out here. We told him that would not meet the septic requirement for a aerobic system. Mr. Parker did go over the fact that on the Hermit's Cove lots, they have been allowed to put the holding tanks that will be monitored and inspected every, I believe, 90 to 180 days. Mr. Hanks explored that option, said he did not want to do it. He had also told us he had 2 container homes already paid for, and his plan was to put them on these lots. So it's noted on the plat, it's for one residential lot only. So we would need to monitor at some point to make sure they don't put multiple homes on this. Mr. Hanks has been made aware of it, via email and several conversations and in person. The last time I spoke with him, he said he still had 2 containers. I mean, so in essence, the plat is correct for one home with an aerobic system. It is not correct for 2 homes tied into one aerobic system with one water.
How do we police that, or?
Someone would have to monitor just to be sure that, since we don't have somewhat building permits in the county, a lot of times, the county, we don't know when someone builds. I mean, they may, if somebody owns 15 acres and builds a house, they don't come to the county. So we would just have to somewhat monitor it to see, ensure that it doesn't end up with 2 or 3 homes on it.
The only way the county currently has a way of monitoring when homes are built is when they apply for a septic permit.
The septic permits through the OSSF affidavits, National Park would do so.
Where is it noted that it's limited to the one lot?
It says 1 residential lot, note number 8.
8, okay.
Yes, sir.
Can we make a motion to approve, stipulate
So
that
I
it's
I
single
would-
residence?
need to amend my motion.
Right, so the lots, 1 residential lot, so they're combined lot 39, 40, and 41 into 1 residential lot.
Correct, yes, sir. I just wanted to speak on this to be sure that the court was aware of the circumstance that Mr. Hanks did have an intent to put more than 1 home. And that would at least be in the minutes and on record, that it was discussed.
That'll be in our resolution.
Just stipulate it. You want to amend your motion?
Jason, remind me, is it only 1 water tap they have, or is it 2?
They have approval for the 1 meter.
One
They have 1 meter, the 2 acre tract to the west, that he took a portion of the combined to make 1 acre, already has existing utilities. Originally, his plan was, I'll just tie everything to that 1 meter, and we told him that.
Right.
Even though we don't cover what, you can't have 3 homes on 1 water meter, 1 utility pole. It was in essence, at some point, creating somewhat of a temporary rental RV residential. Getting very borderline to fall under that regulation. And the acreage wasn't adequate to meet that requirement. It was 5 acres for an RV park.
So what's the minimum amount of acreage that's required for 1 aerobic system?
1 acre.
The state requires a half acre.
But for our,
The
We
county-
require 1 acre basically because we had run into a problem where people had driveways in which what you consider impervious area structures,
oh yeah,
concrete sidewalk where the septic systems can't adequately drain if you're using aerobic.
okay. So the total size of this lot is 2.3 acres? 2.3 acres?
It's a 1.1.
1.11.
1.11.
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is,
Take a portion of that.
it's part of it, so
To make it adequate for the lot size.
well, that in and of itself should limit what he could put on there,
Absolutely.
Yes.
which is why he's combining these lots together.
Yes, sir. We just wanted him to be aware that he couldn't put 2 or 3 homes in common in 1 septic system.
Gotcha.
Because that was his original intent.
And the size of the septic tank is what?
The septic system with the aerobic, I'm not sure what the
What
size
is it put on there?
When we had told them that the holding tanks in the permits code, they had to be a minimum 500 gallon, up to 1,500, right?
Right. Yeah, we have a problem already out there with the
Yes.
last guy. The holding tank is overflowing.
They get the holding tanks full, they don't get them inspected or get them pumped.
When
No one's able to check
Resolution
the
is
alarm
read, I
to
mean,
make sure.
on the resolution.
I think Joe was trying to check them, Mr. Parker will. But once they get full of the alarm, when they get to a certain capacity, the alarm starts to go off. And the problem is these things get full and then there's no active sewer there.
Okay. I need to amend my motion. So amend my motion to say that I'd like to make a motion to approve the replat of lots 38, 39, and 40 for Hermit's Cove with the understanding that the developer will abide by the covenants written on the plat by byline surveying to include one residential home with one septic system to comply with our county regulations.
I second that.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna write it down on there too for me.
Should have wrote it as I said it. That would have took forever.
Yeah. So we have a motion to approve the replat of lots 38, 39, and 40 with the understanding that the developer abide by the conditions labeled in the plat, specifically item number 8, wherein the developer is allowed to have one home and one septic system only on the combined lots 38, 39, and 40. All those in favor of that say aye.
Aye.
That pass unanimously with no one dissenting. Discuss and take action to waive or grant a variance for the Briarwood Estates for fees replatting Lori Northcutt.
Yes.
Is there a motion to consider it?
Yes, I make that motion to consider action to discuss or take action to waive or grant a variance for Briarwood Estates for the fees only for replatting. And I would like to go ahead.
I second.
Thank you. And I
All
would
those in
like
favor of considering say aye.
Aye.
Aye. You're abstaining with one abstention from Mr. Jones.
and I'd like to speak with Jason again about this one. Mr. Jarrett, please. So, the history of this, if you don't mind, I'll let you tell me, would you tell the court the history on this? What
Yes.
happened?
Mr. Melton had created a plat, I'm not sure what year this was prior,
2019.
okay, several years ago. When he created the plat, Mr. Melton, the surveyor that had done the plat, there was a discrepancy on the line. The lot line affected two lots. They went back and revised the plat. Of course, they had one approved plat, I guess, in 2019. They applied for a replat to adjust that lot line, which they did. The court approved it.
2020.
Mr. Melton's, what they've done is they put the septic system on the existing lot and put it in some of the equipment's in the wrong location. And it's encroaching on the lot that had been changed on the replat. So Mr. Melton had said he would like to revert back to the original plat of 2019 to put the lot line where the septic system wouldn't encroach. But I informed him, I talked to him, so I've never seen an instance where, especially if you sold lots in a subdivision, with the conveyance, there's already, different owners now. If Mr. Melton still singly owned all the lots in development, you could, in essence, petition the court to abandon that replat. I don't understand how you could abandon a replat once the lots are sold, because the two lots in question, Mr. Melton still does not. Him and Ronnie Crane.
He does or does not?
They do still own it,
It is.
but I don't think they can revert the plat back. Since the lots, there's a chain of title when people have bought these homes and lots, it's going to be referenced based on that replat and the legal reporting information.
So are there lots that will be changed by this that have already switched ownership?
In essence, they wouldn't be changed as far as their lot sizes, dimensions, none of that would affect those lots.
Just
But
change
the
points.
chain of title would, in essence, in my opinion, be flawed, because say the original plat was recorded in, say, volume 6, page 18. The replat may have been recorded in volume 7, page 19. Anybody that bought a lot legally or has a loan on the property from that addition would be referencing the newer replat if they bought it under that replat. So in essence, if they were to abandon that plat, it could cause some sort of an issue. Probably from a legal standpoint, as far as the chain house. I'm not an attorney, so you have to be legal, but just in my time working on stuff like that, I've always known that to be an issue. So I talked to Mr. Melton, said, just looking at it, it would probably be best just to replat those 2 lots and adjust that line back so it doesn't affect the rest of the addition. Mr. Melton had no problem doing that, but he was concerned with having to pay a 3rd set of application fees to the county. He said he's already paid it 2 times before and wanted to know if there was any chance that fee could be waived. And of course, then he would file a replat, just affecting those 2 lots. Just my opinion, I think that's the best way to do it, is to replat on those 2. I don't see any way to go back. You can't abandon a replat, because like I said, some of those lots have been sold based on that information.
So in your opinion, if we just waive the $9.95 fee and then the $2 $15 lots, but not the recording fee,
Not for recording fee.
Right. But just the-
Just the application
the application
and
fee?
review fee is what my understanding was Mr. Melton was requesting.
Well, I understand the desire to waive the fees, but on the other hand, if we waive the fees for one person, then we waive the fees for
Well,
everyone,
if they
right?
keep replatting it 3 times.
Yeah.
This is an unusual case, I think.
I did my house. I had it replatted. It cost me $4,000. I had a surveyor to go out there and survey it. It was a ton of work, but that's what the city mill made me do.
I told Mr. Melton he could
I've been the owner that bought the house, wanted the house in the lot, and I felt like a fool for spending money. So,
I told Mr. Melton he could talk to Lori about it. I told him I didn't have an opinion on it.
Well, and that's why I wanted to bring it to the court to let everyone decide, because I want to make that decision on my, well, I can't make that decision on my own, but when it comes to something like that, I get it, but I also understand what the word variance means too.
So the only other option would be to dig up the septic tank, scoot it over 2 feet, and fix it.
That's my understanding from Wayne was the guy that, with the system already in place now, and I believe he may have that home finished and sold.
mine was a buried water well. I had 5,000 gallons of storage and water, and the line ran right through
Right.
the buried tanks.
And I believe the lot, or it could be the lot that encroaches, isn't it the smaller lot? If I remember correctly,
Yes, and it's well, from my understanding, it was built on a residence acreage there.
the lot that's encroaching has nothing on it.
Oh, okay.
I went and looked at the lot that it was encroaching, it doesn't have nothing's been improved or done on it. It
So
looks to me almost like an open space area.
When you go back and look at it, when he did this in 2019, everything's great. Everything got where it needed to be as far as recordings, where paperwork needed to go. In 2020, when it got replatted, and then I guess here recently in 2026, he goes and puts in the septic. The septic people went to the appraisal district instead of going to the county clerk. They had the 2019 plat. They did not have the 2020 plat. So I think that was where I felt like, well, maybe we should give him a variance because we dropped the ball on getting the plat to the appraisal district, the correct plat. They never had it, and nothing on Mandy, but not trying to blame anybody here, but just paperwork didn't get where it needed to go. That's probably wasn't correct on the septic tank fella.
Is that how that works?
Yeah,
The mapping,
it's recorded.
Lord said the mapping on the appraisal district website, the GIS mapping,
They didn't have
had the mapping of the 2019 plat, not updated mapping. But I mean, there is also, when you click on that GIS map, it says, there's a big disclaimer, this is for information purposes zoning, not use it for anything. Basically, you're using it at your own risk.
All right. So is that enough consideration? Or someone want to make a motion?
Just clarifying real quick, is that how that works? The CAD bases everything directly off of getting plats from you? Because if you look at their lines, it's crazy off all over the place anyways. Okay.
When we get to number 7, we'll discuss some things about that. Unless y'all want to talk about anything, we can talk about 2 and 7 at the same time.
So Mr. Milton will have to pay to have it resurveyed as well.
Correct. I believe he's already spoke with the surveyor that did it. They may have worked something out as far as that goes on the replat. I don't know on that side, but I just know that was his concern, was having to pay another set of application.
So I'll make the motion and then y'all can decide that we take action on giving a variance for Briarwood Estates for the processing fees, replatting fees, only for the 2 lots, not the entire subdivision. Is that correct, Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the numbers of the 2 lots?
Which 2 lots?
Oh, hold on 1 second.
I don't have the plan in front of me. I know it's going to be the 2 at the northwest corner. Northwest corner of the interest. The first lot on the right, as you go in on the west side, and the second.
Tell you what, we've got a motion. I'm going to second that motion just based on the fact that he's going to build homes on them. Those homes are going to produce a property tax for the county. And based on, that's my reasoning for seconding that.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes 4 to 1 abstention. The abstention being Mr. Jones.
Can we go ahead and jump to 7 since Jason's still here? Because he may have an input or at least need to know the process now, and then we'll get back on track.
Yes, sir. Next item is that we're going to consider is discuss and take action to approve the property plat processing procedure, which was submitted by Mandy Sawyer. She's here today. And is there a motion to take action on that?
I make the motion that we go into discussion about property plat processing procedure.
Have a motion to go into discussion about it. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a second from Dr. Young. All those in favor of that say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes unanimously. So you're going to abstain on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. So that everyone voted on that one. I didn't say yeah. Let's talk about that one.
So about 2 months ago, would you say? 3 months ago, maybe? Yeah. We had a meeting over at the jury room with, I wanted everyone to get on the same page. So we had a meeting about how a plat is born to where it ends up, where it is recorded. And those that were there were our subdivision coordinator, Jason Jarrett, the whole clerk's office, treasurer, appraisal district, auditor, myself, Joe Parker. I believe that was all of us, but everyone was representative from the beginning to the end, except for all of us, because we can't all be there at the same time. Well, anyway, it really was a good meeting because a lot of people got to know who Jason was, what he did, and then we all talked about the process because things were falling apart in different places. We had a gentleman that came to the clerk's office, treasurer's office, wanted to pay for his platting fees, and he wanted to pay with a credit card. So I'm taking y'all down a rabbit hole, but I want everybody to understand. Well, we don't take credit card processing fee. We don't take credit cards there. So I called Mr. Jarrett, and he graciously said, "I'll write the check," because the man lived in Mesquite. He needed to pay for his plat. Anyway, so forth, so forth.
This wasn't plat out of the, byline surveying?
No, he
A
did
favor,
it out of a favor.
another survey company had
I'm going to call you later for my check.
done. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, yeah, I should have explained that.
She was in a bind, I was trying to help her out.
We were in bond, and we
County.
just, yeah,
Collect the fees.
right. We couldn't get this done, even though the poor fellow had to pay like $50 to run his credit card, but he was a long ways from home, we should get that in a minute. So, saying all of that, he was very upset in the clerk's office. It was during lunchtime. That was the problem. Nothing was open. Once they did open, I think he had went in and he really fussed at some of the clerks. One in particular, she took the blunt of it. Anyway, it was just a lot of miscommunication. So this meeting kind of brought us all together, and I'm glad it got put on the agenda, even though Mandy and I were like, why is that on the agenda? But I'm glad it was, because I also wanted to do this because I know that now that Jim is a new commissioner, when I became commissioner, I had no clue how all this worked. And there's a lot of people that get their hands on these plats. And they were going to different places. Paperwork could get lost. Some surveying companies do it all for the patron. There are a lot that do not. You're on your own. So anyway, now we have it set up to where everything goes to the county clerk's office. All fees are paid. Nothing comes to us until everything is paid and all paperwork is in this plat altogether. He, of course, goes and they call Jason. He looks at everything, makes sure they have everything together. Then commissioner's called. The commissioner goes and picks up all paperwork, brings it to the judge's office. It's then put on the agenda. We vote for it. When everything is signed, Mandy takes it back. All fees have been paid. She records it, and it's their responsibility to get it to the appraisal district. And it's done. So it seems to be working out. I think we've only had one so far that's
And
come
Mr.
through.
Hanks was the
Mr.
first
Hanks,
one.
right?
What it was a meeting to simplify the submission process and make it streamlined.
Yes.
Not changing any planning procedures, but
Yeah.
what had happened in the past was, say an individual may come to the judge's office, get a plat, drop it off. Sometimes it would get approved in court and go back to the individual to take it to the clerk. Some of them didn't take it back. They thought that was a copy to keep. Then we're having to call them, hey, you got to bring that thing back.
Yep.
So what we talked about with Mandy is streamlining where it doesn't leave the county's possession once the chain of custody basically is going to be, it stays with the county. It doesn't go back to the surveyor engineering firm that prepared it, and then they have to take it, get recorded, and basically streamline that process. This is where you submit it. They'll submit it, at Mandy's office. A lot of the people who called me, a lot of surveyors and engineering firms, not understanding the process, how we do it. I'll explain that to them over the phone. That's part of the subdivision coordinator position is basically, it's not to review the survey work, it's to review the coordination, get the plat to you guys, make sure everything checks our boxes and whatnot. That's where some of the surveyors I spoke with were confused, that they were worried about me checking their survey work.
Yeah.
That's not how we offer a survey opinion on it. It's to make sure everything meets our requirements and then pass it through the process. I notify Mandy's office, hey, it's been done, they're bringing the plat, so they know that, because you could have somebody drop the file. I may have never seen, there was one that a gentleman tried to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that.
Mm-hmm.
But I spoke to him and we've since got it reviewed. But that was the whole purpose for the meeting. There was a lot of confusion on where to go. We didn't have a streamlined process of, like I said, the chain of custody with these plats, or where to send a customer to say, hey, look, this is where you got to go. This is what we've got to do. Because so many people have gotten used to someone holding their hand, basically leading them through the process. Where they may not understand. Just like Judge Hilliard said earlier, you take it home. If the person you hired to do the work doesn't run everything through for you, you have to figure out. It can be very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you go to somebody, well, I don't need it here, you got to take it there, and they're going back.
Right.
thing with, the fees too, Andy, with them collecting it there, it's just a fail safe to make sure we get them that keeps the public just from going in and out of the treasury box.
True.
That's the purpose of that, right?
Yes.
So these procedures post on our website?
The campaign.
So we can,
They need to be posted with the application.
With the application.
okay.
I think Lori
Do we have
Hutchins
copies of
had
the procedure?
rewrote the procedures. Did she do that first? I thought, the application.
Email them all.
I'll make sure everybody gets everything.
It's gonna look differently than just on an email. It'll be like formalized.
Yeah.
Well, there's not in their procedures, regulations in there.
Somewhat,
That's not set by set.
not step by step, yeah. We need to do a step by step.
Sure, it's
It helps when they come into my office and we can just say,
Exactly.
go here. Yeah, go. It's on our website, then it saves you often having to have a repeat conversation. And then, so Commissioner Willis took care of this, and it was you're in his office now. And are the plats in your office, or where
They're laying back in the
they're laying back there? So, which commissioner is kind of the champion now of this up here
Of what?
of what Mr. Willis did, whatever it was he did?
Those were all just saved
He just
preliminary
had one.
plats that we
So
had gotten.
who's the
He, just,
repository?
he was just holding old preliminary plats.
So who's the repository commissioner now for these plats?
You stack them in my office. I got 2 desks.
Or that's whoever. He can do it too.
Jim's got the biggest office, so he can take care of that.
Actually, the cabinet that Mr. Jarrett donated can be picked up from his office and brought to Jim's office if possible, and we can put them in there, and of course put them in alphabetical order or so forth. Just saying. And
I
we'll put
just keep
stuff in your
losing
office.
it. Rock, paper, scissors. I just keep losing.
As long as I can send them somewhere other than to my desk, I'm really good with it.
Yeah, because they're big.
So that's good.
Anyway.
Well, I would like to make a motion that we approve the property plat processing procedure as described.
I have a motion to approve. A second. All those in favor? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes. So everyone voting yay.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason. Number 6.
And we're going to go to number 6.
Yes.
Are you here for anything else, Jason?
I don't see anything else that I think pertains to.
I'm dismissed.
You can be. I know you have family issues.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
I know.
Thank
It's-
you.
We're very sorry to hear about your family
Thank
too.
Next item on the agenda is to discuss and take action on notifying the cities of East Walkeny Point and Emory, Texas, of Rains County's intent to create, pursuant to Texas Government Code 37.003 of County Assistance District Tax for Rains County, which specifically excludes all land located within the existing municipal jurisdictional boundaries of East Walkeny Point and Emory, Texas.
I don't remember putting this on there, but son of a gun.
Well, you put it on the first time, and so you own it full time. So I'll make it in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a second. All those going to discuss it, not vote on it, but to discuss it.
Aye.
Say aye. Okay. That passes unanimously. Let's discuss it.
Just to begin with, a couple years ago, when one of our favorite citizens brought this county assistance district tax to my attention, if you read the comptroller's website, it looks like easy peasy to make this process happen. Since then, we've had 2 elections. One went down in flames due to not dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. So we're just trying to make sure we have all the I's dotted and T's crossed before we consider putting this on the ballot again. We've missed a deadline to put this on the ballot for November. So I guess I would say maybe in May, we'll put this on the ballot, but we've got, I don't know, probably within 90 days of the May election, we need to make sure that we have everything, all the paperwork documented, perfect, before we decide to put it on the ballot again.
Makes sense.
But I went to Van Zant County. A lady from Van Zant County called me last fall because they knew that we had put this on the agenda and voted on it, and it had passed. She had known that. Van Zant County is currently trying to do this in Van Zant County. I went there because she had done so much homework. She gave me a binder that's about 5 inches thick. I made a copy of it yesterday, but there are so many rocks that we still haven't overturned to look at all the details. It's going to be a monster to make sure that we have all the I's and T's dotted and crossed. But we'll get it done. So good news for the citizens of Rains County. There will be no sales tax increase effective January 1 of 2027, but we can discuss it in the future. But Van Zant County,
Just out in the county.
Van Zant County, I don't know if they did it based on us doing it. I know I've had discussions with their judge and some of their commissioners in the past, but it's just untapped money that counties, I think, have not been aware of, and it's significant. Can be used to benefit the county. So another thing that she brought up was she did a little informal survey and had 7 out of 10 businesses in Van Zant County that she went to, and she had 40 or 50 receipts that showed entities collecting the wrong tax rate. And as we've discussed before, once that money's collected, it could go to the state and the state doesn't refund it, but also business owners, they could be collecting it in error, but they also could be collecting a higher amount and paying out a lesser amount. So there's just a bunch of stuff. So we'll get it figured out.
I would like to restate it is no sales tax increase in the county outside municipalities.
Did I say property tax?
You just said tax.
Oh,
So I want to specify sales tax.
Thank you, ma'am.
This sales tax also would help decrease property tax as well as like the regular half-cent sales tax does. So, and again, like we've talked about before, it's people driving through that are not necessarily residents that, stop at gas stations and things like that, buy the convenience store products and, maybe shop at the furniture store that pay the sales tax there. Well, never mind, that's the city, sorry. But, it would help offset property tax in the long run.
Or if a county resident buys a car in Dallas County,
Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
You have the
then,
option.
then that tax is collected against the vehicle and applied back to here.
Yes.
Although you do have to request it specifically to be done.
We sure do.
If you do not, they will apply it to their own tax rate.
Yes.
Very good.
So there's things we can do to help protect our taxpayers.
So I guess I would move to put this off until we get all the details ironed out. So no action right now, please.
You don't need to accept the redrawing of the city.
Oh,
Well, I think we need to, well, it's up to you. If we vote,
That's kind of the first step is get that correct, right? Get it
if you don't vote for this, then nothing will be done for a while.
there
Because
was,
the
yeah.
county can't send out a notice to the cities unless the commissioners decide that we think we should pursue it.
And
And I don't have the authority to do that without your permission, so.
Gotcha. And we can add that to the discussion. Some of the other things that I hadn't thought of that Van Zant County is dealing with is ESDs. In their opinion, not saying they were right or wrong, but ESDs need to be notified because that pool of available sales tax revenue is kind of available to, I won't say anybody, but
all
like,
that takes
they
those
have a
steps.
road and bridge tax, road and bridge sales tax. There's sales taxes that can go to ESDs. So we need to notify every entity that
That collects
could be
those
affected
taxes.
by it. And those are just, like I said, one discussion, half an hour, a binder this thick. Hate to say that we might have to call an attorney again, but just to make sure that we get it all ironed out the way that we need to have it ironed out.
But this was just accepting the jurisdictional boundaries.
No, this is accepted now. So
Yeah, so,
When do we accept that?
it's already been accepted.
so I guess since this is notifying the
Right.
cities,
Do what?
since this motion is notifying the cities, with our intent to create the county assistance district tax, I would like to make sure that we have all of the entities that we need to notify pinned down before we send out a notification to those folks.
Okay.
So just put it on the next agenda, but add the ESD. You have time to talk to them before that on that.
Yes, but I also need to verify that the information I got is correct.
Oh,
So I don't know if that's a 2-week process or a month process, but basically we have 3 or 4 months to get this figured out before we would have to do these notifications before the May election.
but we have, is it 60 days, you said, that we have to have this in stone for the public to be notified?
Well, I don't know what he's talking about. So. I know what I know, but I'm willing to put it off. I'll second his motion.
Okay.
Any further discussion on that?
Yes,
All those in
just to
favor say
clarify, the information that you had, we couldn't have made this happen before the November election. With notifying the cities, the timeline that we had to notify the cities and get it done by August 17th.
That is a true statement.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we
wow.
could not put the sales tax on the ballot for November.
The part that I'm not understanding is the latter part of it. But it's okay.
Okay. Well,
It's
this will
not
be
a
in
problem.
May. Okay.
All those in favor say aye. We're going to,
Uh,
for the postponement of of this decision, just essentially tabling for that. Say aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously.
And all of that may change your opinion of number 8.
No, it doesn't.
Well, you're the one that put that on the agenda, so I'm willing to ride with you however you want to ride. It's not a problem.
You just have a road with it.
I rode all the way to the no. Discuss and take action to approve the re-election of our famous one and only Jeremy Cook to the East Texas Council of Government Board of Directors, and notwithstanding anything to the contrary previously here stated, I hereby make that in the form of a motion.
I second that.
Have a second?
Hey, just real quick. I honestly say this, Jeremy. Thank you for doing that. It's a big deal, and I think being a part of that group and representing Rains County has been very beneficial to us. And although I give you a very hard time all the time, I do greatly appreciate what you do working with EdCog and the time that you spend with those guys to make sure that we're well represented.
If you'd like to contribute to the gas fund to Kilgore, accepting donations,
You can say that.
We don't like him that much, do we?
Don't appreciate it that
maybe I could borrow your vehicle next trip down.
I'll make the motion that we approve the re-election of Jeremy Cook to the East Texas Council of Government Board of Directors.
I already did it.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Second.
Have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Did y'all hear
There's
him?
none one
I
opposed.
didn't hear him.
You have to sit by yourself.
Apparently, he mumbles. Just kidding.
I kind of do. Discuss and take action to approve the list of election judges and clerks for a 1-year term, which were submitted by Lisa Knightville. I'll make that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Have a second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. That passes with everyone voting in favor of it.
While I know this is, I'm just going to add to just a little ad lib there. August 27th, please put it on your calendar. We'll be acknowledging election judges and our administrator, anybody that's associated with elections. We would like to acknowledge them August 27th at our, put that on our agenda for August 27th, please. But I guess we could put that at the end, but I don't want to forget it. Moving on.
Okay, the next item is to discuss and take action to approve a letter of intent for the, and it's an acronym, so I'm going to look at the acronym.
Samhasha.
Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Grant for the early diversion of adults and youth. I make that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Have a second. It's my understanding this doesn't cost us any money, and see one chapter on the letter. We're just essentially saying we support all the things that these people represent. Andrew Center's been a good partner of ours. They recommended that we do it, so that's what we're doing.
Can I ask a question? Christy, where will this money funnel through?
I haven't received the email.
Okay.
Is it coming straight to the county?
I don't know, that's what I'm asking.
Well, we're supporting a grant
Oh,
for
so it's going to Ames.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the county just.
we're just supporting the grant to them.
Okay, thank you.
So subject to, there's one typo in the second paragraph where it says 13, 0, 0 should have another 0. I'll add that before I sign the letter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously, but I'm voting against it. Discuss and take action to approve the addendum for non-exclusive license services agreement for the local government solutions LP. I'll make that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Have a second. And I know you put this on our agenda. Maybe you want to tell us what it's about?
It's basically, we had your hub created, right? Well, there was a little bit of billing discrepancy over the last 2 years, and I think this is like to kind of refresh that. I guess it started whenever we put in the ticket to create your hub, and then Abby went over and reviewed some of the users and some of the ones that were left on there that should have been taken off and all that stuff. So it's basically like an updated contract for the new users.
And so this is the one that I used to look at all the court records
Yes.
electronically.
Oh, yes.
So it just goes from 1838 to 1938.
Well, okay, you got permission for probate and criminal.
Right.
Is what you have.
So all the judges, just for public purposes, all the judges in the county and attorneys can, well, actually, attorneys too, can log into this to an account and look at what's been filed in court cases. And so if you're the judge of record in that case, then you can go look at it. And I really like it because I can look at it in Hawaii,
Everything we have.
Japan, or Singapore, or whatever it is. But it's easy to administer and it's really
The
efficient.
hub is, web-based,
It's all web-based. So
browser-based.
it's really a cool product, and that's what we use it for. Saves a lot of time and paper handling. All those in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes unanimously. Discuss and take action regarding McLaren subsequent report claim number PR 202-65898-1. It's a damage assessment for that stated 5/3, or that occurred on 5/3/2026 for a hailstorm. So I make a motion to consider that report and decide what to do with it.
Second.
Have a second for that? So what do you guys think about this report? You want me to explain it to you,
Please.
or have you read it?
Look at it.
So the history of this is we had a hailstorm and we got to looking and we were seeing damage around and about. I think Corey, you were originally involved in it. Others have been a part of it and trying to crowd it all up. And I'm looking for the actual summary.
It's a lot of pages.
I should have tagged it.
I will say while you're looking for it, I had originally, I personally, I'm not sure what else, who else we've reached out to, but I reached out to Benchmark Roofing and Construction. It is owned and operated by a family that lives in Rains County. He has looked at the majority of the buildings, not every one of them. I briefly discussed this with him, and we will one day next week, he would like to sit down and go over what he thinks of this and what his opinion would be on. I think there's a pretty substantial cost based off of this report that we have. But I think Mr. Craig would like to sit down one day next week with myself, and we can do it with one other if we can do that, and kind of get his take on it, on maybe, how much he agrees with this, things that he may disagree with, where we can possibly save money and try and get the same repairs outcomes with him. So I don't know who else we have had look at this, but Mr. Craig is the guy that I've been speaking to, and he wants to get together next week and go over this report and help us kind of work through it.
Okay. Look at page 35. And at the top of page 35, it kind of summarizes or maybe you want to start at page 34. Generally speaking, the gist of it is that's still not it. Sorry, that's still not it.
And there's different reports mixed into this.
There is.
I'm on the one that's got 113 pages. So, let's go.
I think it's toward the end of the.
Well, I'm at the end of it and I don't see it here. Maybe I don't have all the pages.
Send you the report on the digital copy, and I still haven't seen dollar amounts.
Initially had 3 minutes.
And the rest of it is just pictures for a while.
I can summarize it for you. The report identifies about $800,000 worth of damage to the roofs. We have a $50,000 deductible for the entirety of all of our buildings. There was about a $53,000 aesthetic impairment that was applied to it, and then the depreciation of the building was around 100,000. So all that to say, we have in the neighborhood of $200,000, between $200,000 and maybe $250,000 worth of potential liability in roof repair. for our buildings. You can maybe subtract out the visual components of it, but really just wanted to bring this to your attention to understand that while we don't have any money in the budget to cover the cost of this currently, there may be a need to consider adding something to the budget in the upcoming months.
What is the cost?
I can't find it.
Yeah, we just looked at it in your office, but
Well, I think we can find. I mean, we'll find it.
We
We're not
will
going to make
find
it.
it, yeah.
We're not going to make a decision right now on it. I think we're going to find it. I think we will be able to find it. I will at least sit down with Mr. Craig and anyone, any one other person that wants to go with, and kind of let him. He actually has the report now, and let him look at it. Let us look at it and kind of see, based on his opinion, what he sees is things we have to do, things that we can wait a bit on, and then things that may be merely cosmetic, and get a cost of all that and bring it back together. Some of the things they're looking at too, right? It's the barn, it's the precinct 3 barn.
this road,
One of them is the old Luckett House out here, which is really a historical society's problem, not a Rains County problem, if I can be honest. So we really need to sit down, take this report, sit down and see what's necessary and what's not.
but those buildings are buildings we're insuring. So if that's someone else's problem and we don't want them insured, we can remove them.
So that has been a discussion before you took office,
Okay.
and that's a discussion we need to have again.
I mean, I'm not advocating one way or the other, but
I mean, this report definitely includes structures that we, as a county, aren't actually liable for.
all right. Well, I would add to that Jim Jones, since he's over the buildings, we kind of shoved that his way. But since you were originally involved in, I think the two of you working together on it,
Let's do it, Jim.
you can take this report, work with Mrs. Wolf in my office from the insurance side of it, and bring back to the court whatever y'all decide, and we'll consider it.
Done.
I would love to have like a heads up by before 5 p.m. tomorrow for the significant items that we think we have any exposure on.
Mhm.
Only because we have to put together a budget, my own proposed budget, and I'd like to include it in there.
We gotta have it to Mandy by 5. I have to.
I guess put in there about 200,000. No, there is right. That is since we're talking about it real quick, that is the good thing because we can talk about it under this line item. That is a good thing about it. That's why I believe we've always went ahead and budgeted even all of our contingency and emergency funds for that very reason. That if we do miss something, the court can decide to go pull that money somewhere and use it for
Yeah.
certain issues.
Yeah, it's like, that's right. And I'm really kind of joking about it, but I'm not.
I feel the kind of not.
Kind of not,
Again, I need it way before 5 because Tammy has to move numbers.
You're not gonna get it.
because it's my understanding we could always, if it's not a line item, we can add more line items.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can always add it later. So
Well, we have line items for building repairs.
building repairs and everything else. So certainly, so just to clarify, certainly by the last date upon which we vote for the budget, for the final budget, or any modifications to it, it needs to be
We will at least have enough
Completely
information to
documented.
make a decision.
right.
Yes.
Because this is a significant, this in and of itself will create a significant challenge for our
That is
budget.
very difficult.
How much is insurance covering on it?
It's just not in there.
I
I
think
think
it's
we
like
can get the money.
500,000 or 600,000.
And he's saying,
That's
I
right.
see
I
things
looked
like
at it.
800,000.
800.
That's what I remember seeing, but I can't find it in here.
It's not in that 113-page report. There's not a monetary.
Somewhere else.
figure.
I've seen it. We've seen it.
We've seen it. Come back. You'll find it for me.
So I'll find it, but it was in the report I sent you.
Was
because I just moved that report directly over from them.
Was part of that 800,000 this courthouse.
It is. This courthouse has the slate roof on it, which is really cool. And then I understand the sheriff was looking with the deputies the other day, and our dome is tilting. That needs to be looked at too, since y'all going to be up on the roof. The other thing I'd ask for is that whoever does climb on the roof needs to add us as additional insurers into their contract in case they slip and fall off. And that if you do get up on the roof, I need to be able to comply with all the
I mean,
OSHA,
just like it's not gonna be made.
all OSHA requirements.
Yeah.
All right.
Period.
Next, so there's really no action required on that. None should be taken. So for the time being, we'll table it.
Hey, I would just go ahead. Let's just go ahead and make a motion on that. That it at least go ahead and be entered into the minutes today on that item,
Okay.
please.
All right. Let's make it. So I'll amend my motion to include all matters with respect to this particular report entered into the minutes, and we'll locate the addendums that may or may not be missing. I'm not sure that they are, but to the extent that there are, we'll add those plus any email correspondence that was included in accordance with that whole discussion. So you'll pull the emails and photographs you received.
Second.
Add those to second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And of course, the rest of that we'll table. You clear on that, Mandy? No?
We're just going to enter this report and any other information with it.
He knows what I mean.
Discuss and take action to approve the request for the utilization of the Rankin County Courthouse grounds and site by the Classics Round the Square. Dr. Corey Young put this on our agenda. I guess you're going to.
I did. I'm good. I would like someone else to.
I'll make it in form of motion.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Have a second?
I'll tell you about it. Everybody knows about it, right?
Sorry,
Classics.
I forgot about that.
Classics Run the Square. Been doing it forever. I believe they are doing it this year, the Saturday before the fair. And hey, listen, they've always been really good, and they take very good care of things. They say on here that it will be September 12th. They usually start setting up about 4 a.m. Cars start rolling in, and then the car show itself, they list as work going from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. They always take good care of it. We have always worked with them in doing so, and I'll just say I fully support it. But when it comes time to vote, I will abstain from it merely because any money that they profit from this, they actually donate back to the Range Youth Sports Association, and I'm still the acting president of that group. And therefore, I'll support this from this standpoint, but I will abstain from voting again or voting for it.
And historically, they've not provided any insurance. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Did any other organization do that for us, or is that the Sports Association do it?
We never have.
Okay.
We can look into it though.
And then as a point of clarification, I don't know if it's in here or not, but we have left the doors open to the courthouse so they can use the restroom.
We have.
And they are not gonna hire any security for the
Um,
courthouse?
When we did it last year, what we agreed to then, or the discussion then, was just being in the city, right across the city, the amount of people here. There's generally law enforcement constantly kind of patrolling the area. Last year, there was a variance waived for the security because it was probably $40,000 is probably the cheapest car here, up to $150,000, $200,000 cars. And there's generally not a lot of riffraff problems with that. you get too close to some of those cars, and those guys go ahead and let you know real quick. But that's the court's decision.
Sheriff, what do you think? It's this item here, item 14 requires the association seek out your approval for any additional security arrangements. Do you see a need to have an on-duty officer here at this event?
I think we're required to reach a certain population.
It says 5,000, they're expecting 5,000 people.
Is that, I mean, we haven't had any problems in the past that I remember.
No, those car people are pretty good people. I mean, it's not a lot of man search shit like that, so it's pretty common.
Yeah.
And typically, not people come up with emails here calls.
Mhm.
I go up there and walk around anyway, so we have security in place.
That's good.
And I try to come to it for my children, so.
Are all doors open, Corey?
No, they usually just open this one so they can have easy access to the bathrooms.
Bathrooms? Oh, okay,
And they do. They've always done it. And then when we started requiring, the application for it, and they've always done it before, and they've continued to do it. They will restock paper goods, refill soap dispensers, and things like that. I mean, if there's a group that does not want this taken, and I believe my conversation last year was when they talked about the application, possibly, maybe the hassle of going through this. They said there's nowhere else in Rains County to really have it this large. And the fear would be is if we didn't let them do it here, it would probably be something that would cease to exist in Rains County. And it's big. I mean, they bring in people who stay at the hotel, definitely contribute to the stores and things around. It's a generator for the businesses in Rains County.
It's good for the county.
Are we gonna require them to have insurance at it?
No.
Is that listed in here as a requirement?
It's not in this agreement.
But we do require requirements.
I don't think we've ever required insurance to use the courthouse grounds. Is that what you're saying?
We require it. Everyone has to provide insurance if they use the courthouse grounds. Like the Veterans Parade, they do.
Well, that was out there, but I don't think we have that here in our building, have we?
I'm sorry,
We
Jim.
haven't done that on the building. Like, we're not requiring it for the stars on the windows.
Not for the stars on the window, but for them to use the courthouse floor for the parade, they provide insurance.
They did.
And we'll have to rewrite our application because there's not anything in it that says insurance is required. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but before we have to hold people to it, we'd have to have it in our application process of it as well.
I think it was mainly just in case somebody fell off the stairs.
Yeah.
Or with the building being open, if the
Mhm.
child fell down the stairs
Mhm.
or anything.
well, that was the purpose of the chains and the security inside.
I'll amend
So
my
it wouldn't
motion
be
to not require
any riffraff
general
upstairs.
liability insurance
Or-
for this event, given the low risk and the history of it, and the people that have historically attended, and that we adopt and approve the policy for the use of this courthouse grounds as the applicant has requested, without the requirement to provide any additional security services.
Second.
A second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Uh,
Aye. That passes. One abstention. Dr. Corey Young. Discuss and approve the request for the utilization of the Rains County. That's it. Already did that. Discuss and take action to approve the purchase of 7 AE devices for Rains County buildings. Lori Northcutt put that on the agenda. You want to make that in form of a motion?
I would like to make that in form of a motion. First, there's
So Lori makes that a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a second?
So we actually did approve this last year, but when it came down to the budget, we really didn't have the money. So this year, I would like for us to get ahead of the game and budget for these 7 AED devices to be put into the 7 locations that do not have them now. our library, our sheriff's office, sheriff vehicles. I believe they're all installed, but the rest of the buildings don't have them. So, if you don't know what AED devices are, the defibrillators, and we would like, I would like to personally see those be installed in all of our public buildings. I don't know if you want me to tell you what all buildings those are, but
Commissioner Northcutt, if you could go ahead and tell me a price real quick, please.
the price is, each defibrillator is $1,411. They are the ones that speak to you. They have the, I know they're not called wires, Jim, but that,
Pads.
the pads and, yeah, everything's on the wall, but it does, Jeremy actually found these. I went El Cheapo, but these are a better device. I think, Jim, being a fireman, you like these also?
Is what we carry on the page.
Okay.
The
And
pad.
so, I believe, on the next agenda, there's another device I'd like to add to this, so I think it's gonna come in at around
$98.77.
98.77.
Okay.
I don't know. I just think we need them.
And we can find that in our budget.
I'll take a look and see. We can probably have somewhere that we can do this,
We're
right?
taking donations.
This, the 7 buildings though, courthouse, annex,
Court, okay, so, you start with the AgriLife, the, senior center, I think we called, and they did not have one, right?
Correct.
Senior center, which I definitely think needs one. Our new leader,
Public safety.
building. Stacy's office, which is HR, courthouse, Arrington building,
That's it.
and, I'm sorry,
Courthouse Annex, AgriLife, Senior Center, Arrington Building, the Hill Building, and HR. That's
oh,
7.
and Road and Bridge. Road and Bridge.
Well, then that's 8.
Okay, then take out, I think HR, that's a no, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
the Hill building as well. All the deputies have defibrillators in the fire rank. So
We talked about that, but they're not always there. There's not always someone
Sometimes
there,
they're not.
and the public is not always there, so we could scratch that one.
I think, we got very limited visitors at
That's what I was, yeah,
our sheriff's office. We have one in
Okay.
the jail and, police dispatch as well.
okay. So we could scratch that one, and we could put one in Stacy's office if y'all want to, or, I'm sorry. The library, they already have one. And the sheriff's office, sheriff's department, jail, I guess they all have them over there. Oh, the jail does have, yeah, okay. But Road and Bridge, I mean, I wish Road and Bridge had them in all their trucks too, but
We need,
they're the
well,
ones that
they're connected.
outpeak.
They could put it in that.
So the,
Judge and I were discussing, I mean, the HR/grant office needs one.
Oh, okay.
So that would end up being
go in the restroom.
On the
So-
restroom, that sounds good.
11,288 is the total of.
So now we only need 7. It should be the 98, because we took one out from the Hill building.
We have to do that. Oh,
I thought you took the one out of the Hill
So
building.
you don't want one in the Hill building then?
Well, that's.
No.
No?
Okay,
Okay, yeah,
all right, well then that'll be it then.
Yeah. 98.77.
actually, I would rather just do the Hill building.
Oh, you do?
I mean, if I'm over there with the person that's out right now, you know,
Yeah.
that could potentially have issues. I have an employee in Midland that's in the hospital waiting for a triple bypass. You know, he was feeling good, and
Oh,
so
oh, okay.
I just hate to.
It's like
I hate to get in a
insurance.
situation where we
Nobody wants to buy insurance.
expose ourselves for not putting it someplace.
I agree.
Okay.
$1,411.
Yeah. 14,000.
Well, I meant, a piece, they're
Oh, yeah,
1,411
right.
piece, so
What was it?
11,288 for 8 of them. I can look and see, if there's somewhere, we can go ahead and take those from.
Find that. Okay. like it.
All right. So then would you please amend your motion to include the additional items?
We're not adding,
You made a motion for 7.
You
so we need to
start
make
out
it
with
for
7.
8, so
We now have 9.
I need to send my, read that.
Do we have 8 or 9?
8.
8. We have 8.
You should amend it for 7.
Amend it for 8 instead of 7 AED devices for our county buildings. Yeah.
Have a motion to amend your prior motion to go from 7 to 8 AED devices, which will be installed in the following places: the Road and Bridge Department, the Hill Building, the HR Building, Courthouse, the Annex Building, the AgriLife Building, Senior Center, and Harrington Building.
Second that.
Have a second? Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That all carries. Simple one, discuss and take action to approve the Rains County small contract with Wilson Heating and Air Conditioning, Jim Jones. I'll make that in the form of a motion. Second. This is, Jim's done a fabulous job. I don't know if you noticed when you walked into the building downstairs, but it was actually cool. So when people sit in the lobby waiting to go to get their license plates renewed, they're not sweating or being chilled by the fact that the AC didn't work. So it's now working, and along with the many others that we have, how many have you repaired?
Half a dozen.
So, and the list goes on. So
It's growing.
it's growing.
So I'm just adding, this is just updating our just adding more contractor to give us more pool, and
Okay.
I'll be bringing several more.
And then, just for clarity, these contracts are driven just to protect the county. So we have a contract in place that has, insurance requirements in it for both general liability, automobile insurance, workman's comp insurance. So those are all things that people should have when they come on the property, and it provides for when people are going to be paid and so forth. So it's a good way to protect the county and keep people, create a good communication between the two of us. So we welcome Wilson Heating and Air Conditioning as a new vendor. All those in favor of this say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's passed unanimously with no one voting against it. We have nothing in executive session, and we can discuss anything that you'd like to go put on the agenda, or we can adjourn.
I would like to put on the agenda for August 12th, I think it is, the 7 choking devices to be added beside the AED devices. And I have a bid for those.
We need 7 or 8.
So you're correct. I guess I need to get a new quote for 8 instead of 7. Okay. Thank you for reminding me of that.
And you already mentioned the item that you wanted on August 27th.
Oh, excuse me, yes.
August
the 20th. Well, the choking devices on the 13th, please. August 27th. We're invited all the poll workers for elections to come, and we would like to honor them.
I'm not sure if it's going to be this coming agenda, but possibly. It depends on how everything goes. But I'll be adding 2 things on the agenda that deal with the use of courtrooms. So the Commissioners Court is responsible for all the buildings and goings on of our properties here, which include the courthouses. And the sheriff's office is responsible. The sheriff himself is responsible for the security of those buildings. And so we have potentially 3 things that we're looking at. One is which judges have the right to use what courtrooms. So we have a district court judge, I'm a judge, we have a JP judge, and we also have other judges that come in here, cases for CPS and so forth. So we're going to decide. I'd like the court to sanction and approve how those are used and by whom, what the schedule of those are, will be, proposed to be. And then who would be the primary scheduler? Right now, that's
Or paid.
Laura Pate. I don't see that changing a lot, but just something, I want something to memorialize how that all works. And then the second part of that would be that we go get the judges to all sign off on it and agree to it. So that would be, so that's two different acts, but one specifically for us voting on how the courts are used. The second thing that I'll be adding deals with the posting of information. We have our signage downstairs is just overwhelmed. Rains County is just not the same size it was when this was built in 1901 or whatever it was. So we have a lot more foreclosures. We have a lot more things that are happening in the county, and if we, kind of the way that it goes, if you post things downstairs and you cover them up, different people have different authorities to post. And so as we go and post these things, we'll, I want to create a policy that, that kind of defines what that looks like, how long, what happens, how long they stay there, where should they be posted at. Our space is running short here. We have no place to really add on our walls in the building here at the courthouse a good safe place to post the agenda. So perhaps we look at either creating some type of signage that sits out in the yard, or we move some of the postings over to the annex building. But one way or the other, in order to comply with all the different laws that are required by the state, I'd like to create a policy that deals with how that memorializes how all that is and where things work, and then where all that needs to be posted at, so we can communicate to the public where to go and seek out that information, so we can comply with the law. So that'll be something that I'm adding. Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a motion? Second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That definitely passes over.
I ran out of paper, so we needed to be over.